If you're a rising star in business and you're not asking yourself two important questions, the possibility exists that you will not survive in business for long. And those two questions are, what is or are the fastest way to cash flow your business? And secondly, what are multiple income streams for your business? Today, I want us to examine some of these concepts that will allow you to identify ways to answer these two questions and adopt the principles and concepts to your business. Now, I want to also say this to you. To learn more about this program, we have also designed a very unique platform that we call the GIPP initiative. And what the GIPP initiative will do, it will really give you a step-by-step approach that will teach you all that I'm saying here and so much more. Now, if you look on screen, you will see the GIPP initiative. And what GIPP means, it means Global Influencers Partners Program. And yes, we have designed this program just for you. But I will tell you more about this program as we go deeper into today's program. Let me come now to a couple of things that I want to share with you on today's topic. Today, I want us to look at mastering the fastest ways to cash flow your business. What are the first things that you can set yourself up to start doing when you want to become a fast cash flowing business? Step one, you can position yourself to become an influencer, or you can contract an influencer to endorse your brand. Mastering the ability to leverage influencer marketing may have huge impact on your business potential to grow. So that's one. The second concept that I want you to consider is to have value that people value. And having value that people value may mean that you are having real estate portfolios. People across the world, they need a place, a comfortable place to live, and they will value that piece of asset. I'll talk more about that today. So stay tuned. I'll give you a number of critical information that you need to know about building wealth and building it fast in real estate. The third concept for you to consider when you want to cash flow fast is to be value that people value. And by being value that people value means that you can perhaps invest in learning how to master the role of an SCP. An SCP is a sales communication professional. And what are the roles of sales communication professional? They're very skilled in collecting data, analyzing data, leveraging data, and mitigating data in the interest of accelerating the growth and cash flow potential of every business. So when you learn, apply, and master these skills, by default, you become value that people value. Another example could be you mastering the art of a BFC. Now, what is a BFC? The BFC means business finance consultant. And the role of a business finance consultant is really to help people to access capital, whether it be debt, equity, credit, creative financing, or hard money lending. You can become a specialist in this area. And by becoming a specialist in this area, guess what? You're able to fix the challenge that millions of businesses across the world encounter. And that's going to set you up to cash flow and possibly cash flow very fast. Another concept for you to think about when you want to be valued that people value is perhaps master another skill set that we call debt mitigation. Debt mitigation specialists, they have a unique skill. One, they understand financial instruments. Two, they understand how to access capital. Three, they understand how to leverage capital. Because many person buy a debt and they leverage it into bad debt instead of income producing asset. The debt mitigation specialists, among knowing all of that, they also understand capital mitigation. And it is with capital mitigation, you get a tremendous competitive advantage in business, because this allows you to reduce your debt life cycle, reduce your debt costs, exit your debt portfolio, and become debt free in a very short period of time. A special skill set. This can save business owners hundreds of thousands and possibly millions of dollars on their debt portfolio. So that is an example of being value that people value. Over a period of time with a GIPP initiative, we will go deeper into this to really help you to better understand these systems and how to apply them to your business. Along with this, you will learn what it means to give value that people value. So far we have looked at a number of headings that can set you up to cash flow and to cash flow fast. One, we look at you becoming an influencer influencer. 2, we talk about having value that people value. 3, we talk about being value that people value. And now we talk about giving value that give people value. Now, giving value that people value, what exactly does this mean? It means that you have taken the time to understand people. It means you have information because you have researched it, you have collected data about people, and because you understand people needs, you are now able to align your value offer, your MVO, your minimum or most viable offer, to exactly what the market says to you represent their need. Now, once you would have built these systems, you want to know that you can repeat these systems. And to repeat these systems, it means that you need to have proper systems. The GIPP initiative will go deep into that. My task is just to give you a high-level overview of what you will get when you become part of the GIPP community. Now, today I want us to do a deep dive into what does it mean to have value that people value. Can you answer that question? Let us do that deep dive, and I'm going to share perhaps some of my experiences with you. I quickly recognize that owning and managing quality apartment rentals is one of the fastest ways to have value that people value, or at least one of the ways to have value that people value. The facts are showing that the demand for housing in the United States of America is very high. The US market has continued to make demands for housing, and what we are seeing is that supply is 4 million below the demand curve. That means that there's a demand right now for 4 million household that is not available. So this is an area, building value that people value in this area can set you up to cash flow even before the real estate portfolios is completed once you know what you're doing. Now, in 2010, when I became a real estate investor, I had very little knowledge of what it takes to survive in the industry. I leveraged my research skills to get the competitive advantage. I began to learn about physical depreciation, functional obsolescence, economic obsolescence. I also invested in learning about traditional and non-traditional loan types, appraisal types, attorney process and fees, origination process and fees, underwriting process and fees, title search process and fees, PM process and fees, and I also learned about the LTV process and fees. So there's a lot of learning that had to take place before I became a solid real estate investors. Now, I went on to learn many other things as I got into this field because, without a doubt, it was a tremendous platform to use the cash flow. And let me give you some other facts. I also learned very quickly in the game that real estate investment is capital intensive. All right, it's capital intensive. I also learned that the ability to invest in real estate was still, and perhaps it was and still is, one of the fastest ways to build wealth. Without a doubt, it was and still is one of the fastest ways to build wealth. I was determined to win as a real estate investor. My mind was fixed on building wealth through real estate. Now, because of all of this, I dig deep and I learn more about how to become a successful real estate investor. And as I begin to dig deeper into understanding real estate portfolios, understanding the real estate industry, a whole lot was revealed to me. I realized real estate investment provided multiple streams of income. For example, it provided you with hourly income, it provided you with daily income, and weekly income, and monthly income. It all depends on how you set up your real estate investment portfolio. All of this is possible. As I begin to dig deeper, all of this begin to reveal itself to me. I realized that real estate investment provided passive income cash flow. And what that means that you can set up your investment portfolios to pay you while you sleep. I begin to dig deeper, and I also begin to recognize that real estate investment pays you with natural and forced appreciation. And what natural and forced appreciation means? It means that when you own real estate and over a period of time, natural appreciation takes place in most cases, but you also have forced appreciation that also takes place. And forced appreciation is when you invest in the portfolio and the portfolio increase in value. Several things happen when this happens. As I dig deeper, I also recognize that real estate investment gives you equity leverage with either a HELOC or a BILA. Now, because the fact that either natural or forced appreciation is taking place, you have equity. And because you have equity now, you can take out the equity in what is better known as a home equity line of credit or a business equity line of credit. Now, the ability to take out that equity, when you understand fast ways to build wealth, it is a tremendous opportunity to support you in your wealth building journey. As I begin to dig deeper, I also recognize that real estate investment allow you to leverage equity to buy more performing assets and continue the wealth building cycle. Again, I said something early on. Although I've seen all of this, what stood out in front of me is that real estate investment is capital intensive. So you're a rising star in business who wants to cash flow and cash flow fast. You're a rising star in real estate who don't have the disposable income to make it happen. What are some simple things that you can do to cash flow? Now, I'm going to give you some tips here. So moving forward, you too can apply some of these techniques. Now, there are multiple options available to you to become value that people value, or to have value that people value. To own a piece of real estate in this particular case, perhaps you can start by looking at earning and savings to accumulate real estate investment capital. For the majority of people, it will take perhaps quite a number of years to earn, save, and then accumulate the desired amount for your first real estate investment portfolio. And that's definitely not perhaps the fastest way to do things. The GIPP initiative is always about showing you what is possible and also showing you the fastest way to move your process forward. And some of the fast ways in which you could apply yourself to start to own value that people value is by leveraging a concept that we call OPM. And OPM could mean relationship with your family, relationship with your friends. And because you have that type of relationship, you now have an idea, you have a great value proposition, you're now able to get them to come alongside you and make investment alongside you. So that's one option you have. That's another option that you have. The other option that you have, you can interface with financial institutions. It could be the banks. It could be finding an equity partner. It could be taking the time to understand business credit and leveraging business credit. It could be understanding what is creative financing and hard money lending. Now, all of these financial instruments are available to you. You may not know it, but when you are determined enough to attain success, in this case, is to have value that people value. There are multiple of things that you can do to position yourself to achieve the end results. Again, the GIPP initiative, the Global Influencers Partners Program, is designed to train you this. So whether you are positioning yourself to invest in business, become a real estate investor, or you want to start and scale a business, you want to take it IPO, the GIPP initiative is going to prepare you and outfit you with a body of knowledge that will give you the skill set to master all of this. So let's go through another set of things that you can start to look at. You can learn about capital markets. I spent quite a number of years studying capital markets. I also went on to study at Rice University, and I studied global financial markets at Rice University. Why? Because I really wanted to know how to overcome some of the challenges that not only myself had encountered at that time, how to access capital, but how millions of rising stars in business are faced the same challenge. So I spent time to study, and I learned capital markets. I learned financial instruments. What is debt? How debt different from equity? What is equity? How equity different from business credit? What is business credit? How business credit different from hard money lending? And I was able to have that mastery over financial instruments. But I went a step further. I started to learn how to access. I started to learn smart ways to leverage financial instruments. And then I started to learn fast, smart ways to mitigate debt. And because I've committed so much of time to learning these concepts, I've written multiple books on these concepts. And talking about books, I want to show you one of the books or some of the books that we have actually developed that you can actually go to learn about some of what we are doing. Now, coming up on screen right now, you will see multiple books. I have recently published a series of books, not one, 11 books, and these books are titled Master the Sales Communication Process. Now you have from book 1 to volume 11, and I encourage you to go to the site. All right, go to the site. I'm going to put a link up on screen shortly. I want you to go to this site, which is habitsandmoney.myshopify.com, and put in your purchase for this book. Put in your purchase for this book. The information that you're going to get from this book is going to transform your life and your knowledge of money. Get from book 1 to 3. You can start there, and you will learn how to start and scale a business, how to cash flow your business. You will also start to learn about financial instruments by the time you get to volume 3. So I really want to encourage you to go to those books and really take the time to understand the concepts that are being introduced to you. Now, what I want to do, I want to spend some time now talking to you about the last concept that I was just discussing. So because I've spent quite a number of years understanding financial instruments, we are now in a position of strength to help you, the rising star, in business. Now, some other concept that I want you to also consider here is that one of the things that I did in starting business and scaling the business, I recognized very early in the game, it was necessary to start to build relationship with a critical stakeholder. So while I learned about financial instruments, while I learned how to access, how to leverage, how to mitigate, I recognized some things that was very helpful to me in business. I recognized very quickly that I can't do all of these things all at the same time and position myself for greatness. So I began to start to build relationships with key people. And this is something that you want to do. When you want to cash flow and cash flow fast, you need to understand the power of relationships. All right. I start to build relationship with bankers. On my team, I have a BFC, a business finance consultant, and he's going to walk you through a process, an entire process that's going to help you to access capital in a very short period of time. I start to build those relationships. So when you want to cash flow and cash flow fast, it is necessary for you to invest enough time to learn, apply, and master some of these skill sets, and relationship building is one of them. When you want to cash flow and cash flow fast, you must have value that people value, you must be visible, and you must invest in building quality relationships with the right people. So today we look at a very simple concept, and that concept that we looked at today is how to have value, or what it means to have value that people value. We do that deep dive into real estate, and we also look at the fact that real estate is capital intensive, but we also shown you ways in which you could navigate that process so you yourself can have value that people value. Now let me put this to you. If you are in the case where you want to have value that people value, in this case real estate, and you don't have the capital and you don't know how to access the capital, but you really want to get the process moving forward, I want to encourage you to reach out to me now. All right, reach out to me now. I will be so happy to work with you to help you navigate this entire process until you come to that point where you're going to actually access the capital. Use the numbers on the screen. All right, make contact with me. I'll be happy to help. So in conclusion, I want to say that I want to encourage you to go get the book. If you look on screen right now, you would see multiple of those books. I want you to get the book. I know it's going to transform your life. You have 11 books to choose from. Along with this, what I want you to also do is to prepare yourself to become a part of the GIPP initiative. The GIPP initiative is the Global Influencers Partners Program, and there's a whole lot for you to take away from this program. For example, you will learn things like the fastest ways to cash flow your business and your brand. You will learn the real cost of doing business. You will learn how to build and master your MVO and how to master business analytics. You will learn how to build and master your personal brand. Again, building your personal brand is going to help you to become a global influencer. You will learn how to build and master your corporate brand. And Most importantly, you will be learning 8 steps that will position you to become not a local influencer, not a regional influencer. It's going to position you to become a global influencer, where you're going to play on platforms where you have billions of people are playing, and you have a chance to get eyeballs by those millions of people. The GIPP initiative will also teach you how to master your TOPAC, your targeted performance outcome, and keep your eyes on the business cash flow game plan. All of this program is going to go into just for you. You will also learn what is a project and how to build and master your project. You will also learn about what is your WBS, your work breakdown structure, and the important role all of this play in helping you to achieve your business financial objective. So these are very, very dynamic platforms that I really want you to take the time and become part of our community and start to position yourself for greatness. My name is Gary Thompson. It has been a pleasure being with you today, and I look forward to doing this with you again very soon. Be blessed and see you in the next podcast.